Hello guys, this is RTP or Planners or whatever you want to call me, and this time I'm gonna bring some engagements, like 3 or 4 engagements using a shield arbitrator. I actually found it quite fun to fly. As for the fit, on the lows you can see the typical damage control, couple of drone damage amplifiers, and I chosen to bring also 2 overdrives. I want the ship to be as fast as possible. For what I want to use it, it's not really important it to be maneuverable, but it really needs to be fast. As for the mids, I want maximum tank. Of course, a micro drive too in order to be fast, and I actually prefer the scrambler. In the highs, I got two medium newts. Those are Meta 3 or Meta 4, not quite sure. And the autocannons are just to give some extra damage without spinning my cap. In the rigs, I have an ancillary for extra power grid. It requires some extra power grid, an anti-EM, and a medium core defense extender for some more hit points. As for the concept of the engagement with this ship, really depends on the target you're gonna find. If you find a frigate, you just want to brawl it and get close to it and loot it and apply the drones. But if you're gonna find a cruiser or even a battle cruiser, um, you need a more careful approach. Anyway, we're gonna worry about that during the video, not right now. In the first clip, I'm actually acting as scout for my fleet. My fleet is composed of a stabber, rupture, a sight, and a frigate. And I had been for quite some while trying to entice the locals to come and grass us. A good way to actually achieve that is usually to warp the station at range and see what develops. I actually started to record this engagement a bit late, but basically you got Tengu, Wrath battleship, and enemy curses all on the undock of the station, and a stabber burning at you. The rock had already been shooting at me, so I'm already like off shields. And I actually believe he stopped because he wants the stabber to first get a point on me, and then he'll open fire again. This way I will not run away. My positioning on the station is really not bad. I am 100k from 120k even from the enemy fleet. They cannot warp to the stabber once he gets a point on me. Also, if they undock some sort of remote trap, they will not be able to remote trap the stabber. But unfortunately, I am still vulnerable to sniper fire. As for our own plan, I already know what the stabber is trying to achieve, so not a big surprise there, he's playing our game. And I've actually already asked my fleet to jump and warp to me, even though I do not have yet a scram on the stabber. This seems a bit premature, but I cannot really risk all that long under the sniping fire of a rock. Alright, the dices are launched. All I have to do really now is to scram the stabber. He's burning at me really ahead. I also burn at him just to make sure he does not try to orbit me. I should be overloading my newts. I'm not. That's a mistake there. My own fleet lands. Damage coming from the stabber is really not all that big. And the rock starts to shoot me again. Ouch, that really hurts. Even 100k away, it's hurting me a lot. My newts, on the other hand, are making a very good effect. I'm no longer pointed. Secondary points are called on the stabber. My friendly logistics is trying to wrap me up as much as possible. I'm already deep armor. I'm just gonna warp off. Mission accomplished. The rest of the fleet finishes up the stabber. I get safe, and we snatch a kill. Nothing juicy, but still a kill under their noses. In this next clip, I'm fully solo. and I exit on a safe spot pretty close to a Cyclone 50k away. And my first impulse is to actually start killing its drones. I do not want to fight a Cyclone head on without knowing a bit more about him. So, job number one, make some range. Job number two, kill the drones. And I also look at my log. He's shooting me with two 80 millimeter prototype siege cannons. So he has two turrets. Uh, this probably means he has no newts. That's good news to me. I take a look on his guns. He has heavy assault missile launchers, so close range. He's mixing close range assault missile launchers with artillery guns. Anyway, he's actually burning also far away from me. I need to approach him a bit. He's moving 1200 meters per second, not awfully fast, but I'm still not comfortable engaging the Cyclone head on. He does not rely on capacitor to fire at me. Those heavy assault missile launchers will probably shred me to pieces. Well, nothing happening right now. I use this opportunity to check his battle clinic stats, have an idea what he might be flying, have an idea on the background of the pilot. So check his losses, see if I can find a similar Cyclone. Nah, galente, galente. Anyway, I'm using this time to see if something escalates. Cyclone is probably not the best target to engage with the Arbitrator. Also, all the oranges that you see in local are pretty much his alliance. I doubt he'll be solo for much longer, but nothing seems to be happening. So I decide to approach him and see what happens. Much of the solo work is sometimes playing cat and mouse games. Uh, some people like it, some people don't. Uh, well, it's just like that. Okay, he's in targeting range. I'm gonna send in my hobgoblins. Hobgoblins are fast enough in order to accompany with him, to keep up with him if he starts micro driving. They apply a bit more damage than warriors, and also a very good feature of this arbitrator is that I can in fact apply full damage at 50k away. While looking at the damage the Cyclone is taking, it's actually taking damage quite fast, really. I'm not seeing him uh, recover. He does not seem to be active tanking. Cyclone is a bonus active tank, but this one seems to be passive fitted. Also, he tried to kill my drones. I'll do the drone deaths again. I'll kill his drones instead. Last thing I need is some extra damage on my tail. I actually managed to kill his drones a bit faster. Okay, only one more drone to go. And there you go. All done. Uh, yeah, I actually find it very important to have a shortcut for drone control instead of right clicking in the menu. The right clicking on the menu of the drones, it's a pain for me. Just set some shortcuts. Okay, I regulate the drones. This way he lost the lock on the drones. I probably should have just put them on top of him. He's micro driving again, and I have no idea what he's trying to achieve. He's actually moving away from me. I don't get it. Anyway, it's not like I have a whole lot of targets around, so I'm just gonna keep messing with Cyclone until something happens. And if he sticks around for too long, I will go for him and I'll try to engage him with my hammerheads because he seems to be dropping on a decent rate. He went off. Okay. As soon as I was thinking about starting to engage, he just bailed. I warp station to repair, and there was a Merlin nearby the station. Nothing fancy about this engagement, all pretty straightforward. Micro drive at him, overload micro drive when he starts making range. I don't really know why he didn't just warp off. I think he thought he could outrun me. Uh, get a scram, apply some nudes, and the Merlin is busted. I just included it because it was one of those coincidences. I warped station to repair, and I get a kill. Well, anyway, I healed Merlin, I dock at the station, I repair, I undock, and I warp again to the Zendaya gate, and I find something different waiting for me. Two Thoraxes! So the Cyclone player shipped down from a Cyclone to a Thorax, and now he has a friend. This is good. Okay, first deal. Look at the Thorax. This actually seems to be sensor boosted. I personally consider that to be a waste of a mid slot, but okay. He also seems to have ion guns, and he's approaching me fast, 1700 meters per second. I actually had this page loaded. I look at his battle clinic stats. He could be using a similar Thorax from the internet page I just saw. At least the sensor booster is there. And, well, this really seems like a trap, but let's apply some damage. He cannot catch me unless I want. 1800 meters per second, that's his speed. I'm faster than that, hence my two overdrives in the lows. And it's time to apply some pressure. Let's see what happens. Okay, he's not shield fitted. His shield's going down pretty fast, so he's armor fitted. His friend right now is at plus 200k away from me. If I get scrammed, he can easily warp. That's bad. So my position is really not the best. But I'm just gonna keep applying damage, keeping some range, and we'll see what develops. I already know there's two guys active. These two guys that I can see, and local is filled with fellas from the same alliance. He's actually killing my hobgoblins. Okay, third one, Tristan. Tristan. Tristan itself, it's really not a problem alone, but again, if the Tristan tackles me, that could be a problem. The guy that was chasing me lost interest. He's no longer pursuing me. He realizes he cannot catch me. Uh, that is that is bad in some way. I need to keep these guys interested in me. I'm thinking about warping off and then warping back in. Oh, okay, he warped off to a ping nearby. Well, this effectively marks the end of round number 2, and I decide to go back again to my initial spot. Let round number 3 begin. Okay. I land on my initial spot. Both Thorax is at 0 meters per second. Okay, I'm just gonna play bait, and I'm gonna let them play a card. I'm gonna let them make their move. So now it's again a cat and mouse game. Let's see what happens. The only stuff I need to remember here is to not go further away than 150 kilometers from the Thorax called Genghis Kazak. I wanna be within 150k, so that from this particular Thorax, so that there is no warp ins. Oh, here we come. He's pretty close. Okay, yeah, it's time to engage him. been playing cat and mouse for too long. Oh, this is very important. I can see he still has armor damage and is not active tanked, and it does not seem to have all that much tank either. So I'm confident he will drop down pretty fast. Okay, time to apply some extra pressure, uh, some nudes also. Yeah, I'm shooting with the MP ammo. That's a mistake. Oh well. I managed it a good spot this way that Genghis Kazak cannot warp to me. He actually seems to be afterburner fit. He's only moving 600 meters per second. So, and Bakari Inu almost down. He's almost dead. Bah, okay, I got this. Okay, okay. And here they come. Here comes the trap. I need to align out. Why am I not aligned? I, I knew this was coming. Tried to warp off and pointed. Webbed to uh, overload my code drive. Align to some place. I should already been aligning out before, and I'm trying to get away. Uh, Tristan is the one tackling me. I target Tristan, try to nut him. Tristan actually has a Nosferatu on me. That's a very bad move. Fortunately, the web just went off. Blackbird also. I think I might make it almost out of cap. Oh, come on. And I'm out. Uh, I know this engagement was a bit long, and to be honest, the Cyclone part is indeed a bit boring without much happening. But the reason I put it in this episode, it's because it's important. I wanted to give an idea on how sometimes fights develop over time. There is usually a good amount of assessing the situation, of letting the other side play cards, of waiting to see what happens and waiting for the adversary to actually make mistakes. Um, I could have just showed the last couple of minutes with me killing the Thorax and escaping the trap, but there is usually so much more to it. Of course, I do not intend to make this on every episode, but this was a pretty good example of what happens a lot of times. Anyway, as for the last final bit, namely escaping the trap, I was very lucky. First of all, I was dumb to not be aligned. I knew they had some sort of trap and failed to react properly. And I was very lucky because the prophecy is really not tackling me, it's just sensor damping me. Don't ask me why, but hey, I'm not complaining. And Tristan is actually a good fit because Nosferatu, Web, and Long Point is a good combination. But then again, um, my nudes were able to at least shut down the web, and the long point alone could not hold me. As a funny side note, the prophecy was actually killed like half an hour after I bailed away, and my drones were aggressing the prophecy while I was trying to warp off. So I actually got surprised when a couple hours after I saw me being the top damage on the prophecy. And in fact, I actually never even had targeted it. That's another advantage of drone boats, I suppose. Okay, I'm actually gonna end this episode here. Although I'm gonna consider this only part one, because in another video I will be making a second part, and the second part will be exclusively a roam I did with the shield arbitrator. that is because I like to show what you can find when you go around solo during 2 hours with the cruiser, what you can engage, what not, where to go. Uh, kind of like a, call it a streaming without the warp jump, warp jump, warp jump, warp jump in empty space. And let's see how that works out. Okay, see you next time.